analysis for the upcoming game.
Thank you very much, Carmack. Wonderful interview there with Jack from Cloud9. We're going to check in first before we talk about our next matchup with the schedule that we've got coming up as well, and also the brackets, just to show you what's going on. If you weren't familiar and you weren't with us yesterday, then this is what you missed. Gambit Gaming coming through both of their games 2-0 against Cloud9 and against the Red. They now go through to the grand final. They will play either Fnatic or CLG, which is our last matchup, which is the one we're going to talk to now with Crepo and with Joe. We'll get into the lineups in a moment, but interesting first match, let's put it that way. Were you expecting Gambit to come out of the blocks quite that well against a team who were very good when we saw them in North America?
So yesterday, Gambit were strong. They were a little bit sloppy, but and Gambit tend to do that against weaker opponents.
I was going to say that's the tough thing yesterday. It was hard to kind of say, yeah, they played really well because they weren't playing with all due respect, a really good team. So how do you analyse?
Today they were awesome. I mean, Darian was on point. Genja for me was, I was so impressed with how he played. His positioning, he was aggressive. Like, this was a very strong-looking Gambit team. They don't look like they've just had a member switch.
Well, I agree. Darian was definitely on point game 1. Game 2, he was a little shaky. I think he missed some engaged moments where he could have just started the CC chain that like Gambit had. But all in all, from a team effort, they did really well. They played it correctly. Any support coming out twice from Edward, any support being seen throughout the entire tournament, I hope teams start respecting it and just waste a ban on it, because it seems to be doing really well for every team that picks it up.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to our second semi-final now. It's an interesting matchup for many reasons, of course, not least of which because we've got yet another America versus Europe battle, which we love so much. Let's take a look at the first team lineup, which is CLG, and this lineup it's a good lineup. I mean, we've talked about this, about the bottom lane more than anything else, but let's just talk about the whole team, leaving out the one-man double lift, which we're going to come back to in a moment.
Well, looking at the lineup, we have Trick coming in for his first competitive match with CLG, and I think he's been playing relatively well. He seems to be, at least his timings are correct. He's at the right place at the right time. I feel they underestimated their 2v2 potential maybe once or twice, just didn't like gauge the power levels too high, but he's definitely around, and he's pushing his pressure onto the bottom lane, basically allowing them to play more aggressive, and then even like we saw yesterday, they just flat out dodge skill shot by moving forward, which is a really ballsy move, but it works out just because of they know the jungler is backing them up. Yen's been playing solid in top. Link's always been known for mechanical, very strong player. All around, they seem to have the Monte Cristo flowing through their veins right now, because they're having an objective-based game, and they're no longer just running left or right with Doublelift just farming on his own. We saw Doublelift rotate to mid together with Choster, I mean not with Choster, with Afrim rather, rip Choster, and just like go for an early turret push and rotation, and he lost 3 waves on bottom, and it was worth it. But that was a new CLG.
Same token, just want to add in there as well, similar thing to what I mentioned with Gambit, that they played on paper a much weaker opponent yesterday, and today is going to be the real test of how practiced they are and how good they really are at this point.
Yeah, they said yesterday they were well practiced. The team that we're going to look at now, let's have a look at their Fnatic lineup, said yesterday that they maybe not quite as practiced, and Mitch made the point that they've been away and they've had a bit of fun and they wanted to wind down afterwards. Perfectly acceptable, of course, but they come back now. It's difficult to measure where they're going to go up against CLG.
At the same time, though, it's still Fnatic. They've been together for so long. Yes, maybe they're swapping in Reckles, but he's been living with them, like training with them, following them around for so long. They've been playing duo queue. I know Yellow Star and Reckles have been playing so many games together, so they're fine-tuned already. All depends on their preparation. If they put in a lot of work on their level 1s, which often are pretty like nifty, pretty like non-standard, and that may actually throw CLG a curveball. If Fnatic gets the ball rolling early with the level 1, they definitely have enough skill to take it home individually, even without looking at the teamwork. So I'm probably handing it to Fnatic a little more in this matchup.
Yeah, I agree with the whole about what you said about Reckless. Everyone's like, well, they got a new man Reckless, but he's not really new. He's kind of been like the little brother that follows you around all the time over the last year.
Only just.
He is 17. He's still very, very young. But that's the key part. He's been living with them. He's been playing with them anyway throughout this time. Yeah, okay, there's going to be some kind of transition, but I don't think it's anywhere near what some of the other teams have had.
Okay, there's also a bit of rivalry going on between these two. We're going to play you a little video, and if you missed this yesterday, this is what Doublelift said he would do to Fnatic.
If you play Fnatic, what can we expect from that matchup down the lane?
A stomp. That's what you can expect. A one-sided stomp. Like, me and Afro are really good And like I said, I think Reckless is kind of overrated. He is good. I'm not going to ever deny that he's good. We are clearly much more practiced, and I'm really confident with me and Afram how we've been performing.
Okay, so let's just be clear, right? There's some smackdown here going on, and you know we like a bit of rivalry, we like a bit of banter and what have you. And just to make sure that it's balanced as well, we've got the other side of the story because there was a response overnight via Twitter. This was the response: "Prepare yourself to get wrecked." That's pretty feisty as well. Mitch, you've been involved in some of these controversial rivalries in the past. I don't know if they were controversial, but you know, rivalries.
Controversy ever around.
No, ever.
Rivalries, fun. But let's be serious and talk to both of you about this because I know that you've both got opinions on it. Is this just for fun? Is this just for banter? Is this just for more people to tune in and watch this, or is there genuinely some bad blood there?
I mean, let's face it. We know Doublelift is more than just his trash-talking persona. But everybody still likes it. There's nobody that denies it, that it's fun. And Reckles, I mean, he's hyped. He plays along with it pretty well. All in all, it's pretty good hype for the match. I think there's like a slight touch of seriousness to it. So both of them want to prove that they're the best. In my eyes, Fnatic is just gonna want a picture with CLG after the match because they want to see their losing faces.
From yesterday, Joe.
So the thing is about Doublelift that he does have that persona, you know, I'm the best is something that he says a lot more than anyone else I've probably ever met in my entire life. And at the same time, he can take a loss. And you need to have that side to you if you're going to have the other side of saying I'm best and you're crap. The big thing, though, comes down to it. When you say something like this and you don't perform, you look like an idiot.
Yeah, absolutely. Mitch, I want to follow up on this as well because is this the point? Is this the focal point of the game? Is there going to come a point in this game where both teams lose focus because there's just so much of the concentration on this, or is it not going to play any part once they're in there?
Nah, you're just having fun. I mean, it doesn't matter. You do what you do best in the game. If you're going to go top or bottom, and top is clear the best choice, you're not going to go bottom just because there was a tweet or a shout-out or he's mean to you on social media. I mean, we're professional players all after all, and yeah, sometimes it might get into your head. I know some players on Fnatic, there's few where they can get emotionally like a little bit upset if you continuously harass them, but this is peanuts from things we've seen in the past, for example, and this is all friendly. It's IEM Cologne is a really fun tournament because there's no pressure towards World Finals. Both teams can play relaxed, and let's just see who brings it home.
Absolutely. Okay, one last question for both of you. Predictions, where's this going? Are we going with the tried and trusted European strong arm that did well in Worlds but maybe haven't practiced, or are we going for the top North American team that didn't do quite as well as they hoped at Worlds and now want to come through and show us how good they are after practice?
So hard to say. We've not seen Fnatic at all yet. Obviously, they got the seeded position into the semi-final. We've seen CLG, but they were against a much weaker opponent than what they're going to face now. And whilst they did look strong, I don't think we can really base any performance from that win. If Fnatic have practiced at all, then they're still, in my opinion, the favourite for this game.
Okay, Mitch?
I pretty much agree with what Joe's saying there. Fnatic.
Okay. I think the general consensus here from all three of us, and including the one that has no idea what he's talking about, is that it's going to be a Fnatic win. But is it going to be an all-European final? We're about to find out. With our second semi-final, it's time to go over to our commentary team for this one. It's Jason Kaplan, all 8'7" of him, with D-Man.
He just keeps on getting bigger. So, Counter Logic Gaming, they did well at Worlds, but unfortunately it was only on the analysis desk because they obviously didn't make it there against Fnatic, who themselves got third place and a big fat check to go with it. Couldn't quite make it that extra step though, and also kind of showed up by Royal Club what their weakness was.
All I can say is for this match, Demon, it's just in my head, it's just this meme I keep saying. It's like, this is going to be good.
This is going to be good. I mean, the last one was incredible.
This is going to be, I mean, this is like a build-up so much of Doublelift constantly saying he's better than Reckless. And Reckless saying, you know, I'm not really sure about that. I'm pretty sure I can take you. And it's finally coming into this moment where these two teams will go head-to-head, these two players in that lane together. And, you know, I'm honestly not sure who I favor the most.
Well, the last time they went head-to-head was at IPL 5. It was Reckless that came out on top. They won 2-1, although everybody was claiming it wasn't just Reckless. I'm worried about Fnatic. What's going on with Peke there?
Trophy blinded him.
Yeah, I mean, we saw him sneaking on stream earlier with that trophy, but there is the young man, Reckless. Now 17, legal to play in the LCS. He was actually legal to play after the group stage at Worlds, but instead Fnatic chose to stick with Pushu, and rightly so, I think, because Pushu played incredible at Worlds. But now the Phenom, I think is safe to call him, has come in. We'll see exactly how he's performed. He was playing with Copenhagen Wolves throughout the
He was keeping practice,
the summer.
importantly.
Kept practice, kept in the competition, kept in the tournaments. He was in the house as well with Pushu. So, you know, these guys have all gelled together. They're all set up now in the house here nearby in Cologne, so they are very much prepared. Of course, they're up against Counter Logic Gaming, the daddies, the granddaddies, I guess you could say. But it's a new Counter Logic Gaming. You know, there's no one in that lineup that was there back in 2010 when they won the World Cyber Games. It is a very new lineup. But Doublelift and Aframu, Link yesterday, right there on your screen, he played fantastically well. And actually out-farmed and out-killed Link, Doublelift for quite most of the games.
Well, there you go. And, you know, to me, Afrolift is the best bot lane combo in North America.
Rush Hour.
Rush Hour. Yeah, Rush Hour.
That's what they call themselves, at least.
Like, it is ridiculous how good Aframu is. I'm going to say it time and time again because he was previously an AD carry, but to keep that in mind. He knew how to play the lane. He knew how to be aggressive, when to be aggressive, etc. He's now playing support, and you've seen, I guarantee you've seen the videos of him
they both actually switched roles, because Doublelift used to be support as well.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, they're both synonymous with the same roles.
And honestly, I think they are easily the best combo in North America. In the world, I'm not sure, because it comes down to how much they practice. And, you know, CLG yesterday, it wasn't the Doublelift show. It was, I mean, yeah, he got a lot of kills, it was really impressive, but it wasn't, let's feed everything to Doublelift. Let's have him carry everyone. Let's protect him. Everyone on the team, just like you said, Link, everyone playing well, even Trix coming in doing a fantastic job. And I want to see, can they come up to the pressure, though? They have a huge match here, probably one of the biggest in this year for them. And it's going to be such a tough one. Like, who do you favor? Because we heard Joe, we heard Crepo. They favor Fnatic.
There's no question about it. Fnatic are the strong favorites. This is CLG that didn't make it to Worlds versus Fnatic that got third place, and if they would have turned up on the day, could easily have been in that World Finals at the Staples Center. But it wasn't the case. Some players actually felt the pressure, and Peke being one of them. I know I was there on the day in the Galen with the semifinals. These guys were really nervous. It's the first time I've seen Fnatic really feeling the pressure. But right now we're into picks and bans, and I was just about to say, we talked about Trix. Yesterday he played at least twice, and now it's being banned out.
Yeah, he went 6-1-10 in these games yesterday with that, and you obviously want to take it away. You want people out of their comfort zone. But,
exactly, yeah.
You know, I keep thinking, though, nowadays, it's impossible to take someone completely out of their comfort zone because there's so many champions to pick from, and there's only a limited number of bans. So people are going to be comfortable on these other champions, but, you know, get them out of Elise, make them play something else, and kind of favor yourself a little bit more.
Nearly left open. Peke is going to take that one quite easily. It can be Soaz, though. That's the thing. This was one of the issues with Fnatic. Every time we did research on him, it's like, who do you pick ban against them? Actually, it's very tricky because a lot of them have a large champion pool. Soaz effectively could play anything in that top lane. Cyanide in the jungle has got a really large setup. They're actually in the wrong order on the pick bans, but we won't worry about that. I'm sure they can deal with it when we get in game. Peke as well. He's got a massive variety of champions, and we can see the fact that Cassidy and Lysandra was taken away from him. They don't want to use that burst on him, but again, it leaves exposed. I mean, Zed we've seen actually not have that good a performance. Kha'Zix's in there. There's so many champions he's so good at.
There's also one thing that you're missing. We saw Yellowstar play Shen top lane once, and Soaz playing support as Blitz the summer split. So there's even more possibilities for them if they want to go for it. But the whole Cassidy and Lysandra combo, I love seeing Soaz and Xpeke on that. They were just like a two-man squad. It was, as Quickshot coined, it was like the trilogy of Kevin, because they just constantly roamed around together and picked him off in one or two of their games. Their combo together and assassination potential were so high. I want to know if they're going to go for something similar like that, but seeing the Nidalee off the bat kind of makes me think they're not going to be going for anything like that.
Well, it's a clever pickup from Trix as well, going on the Vi, because that's a champion that Cyanide was very strong on. Shyvana being left open has got through. That's potentially going to be Soaz. Could be the jungler's course. Reckless, I'm interested to see what he's going to be playing, because previously, Tristana was the champion he was hitting hard.
Yeah, I'm really curious too. I think he was going to go Tristana. That's what I thought yesterday, because just to show Doublelift up after we started playing it, and in Summer Split of LCS and saying, I really enjoy this champion, but I think even a Vayne would be more interesting if you went for that, just for the sake of it, just to show Doublelift. My mechanics are better than yours, but I think they're going to play more for the team than more for the rivalry that these two teams have right now. The Vi, I mean, we've seen how strong she is. We just saw Diamond playing her 3 out of 4 games so far. Such a strong champion. Saw her at Worlds doing very well. The early game presence of her is amazing. And then when you hit level 6, your ganks become even stronger right now. But the Shyvana, I don't know where that's going to go. As you're saying, Soaz can play anything top lane. Cyanide has a really huge pool of champions he can play from. I'm not 100% sure.
It's
I'm
the
not
same
sold.
with this Vlad. Is this going to be Nien? Or is it going to be Link? Is Link going to be sticking on this one? There's the support being picked in there. We don't know which way this one could go as well because it's another utility champion. The team's not really giving too much away to one another right now. I mean, obviously, the Zyra is going to be the support. I say obviously. We did see Cowtide yesterday playing it in the mid as well. So there's a number of opportunities for them to take. Which way will it go? Could be Varus. So actually, I talked to Doublelift, and for him, Jinx is the way forward. Jinx is by far the strongest AD carrier. I was having a chat with him about it and say, what do you see in it? It's like, there is nothing bad against Jinx. Can absolutely push and decimate everything in lane.
That is a really bold thing to say, and Reckless, he's got to show it up here. I mean, to me, AD carry matchups now are mostly just about who can outplay the other, which jungler is more interactive in that lane. It's not really about skill or about the champion in particular, or it is about the skill, but not about the champion particularly. The Vladimir, that will be on Link, I'm pretty sure. He's been practicing that quite a bit.
Here we go. This is going to be Soaz on Karma in the top lane, I'm pretty sure.
Nidalee?
No, Nidalee in the... there's Zyra Ashe, so it's the standard combo. So, which is interesting because we've not seen Ashe all weekend. Soaz will be pulling out that Karma in top lane. That's going to be a Shyvana in jungle, unless suddenly Cyanides took upon the guise of Diamond is going to play Karma in jungle, but I don't think that's going to happen. But Karma being pulled out. There's a number of champions being pulled out that we haven't even seen this weekend.
The mobility of Fnatic's team is ridiculous. Nidalee is really hard to catch. You can obviously leap away, but as we heard Krepo talking time and time again yesterday, Shyvana is so fast, it can catch anyone. If you pair in Karma with that, who can speed him up even more, how are you ever going to escape that? And with a Jinx...
Nidalee as well, you can't catch that.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough. Also gives Ashe an escape mechanism. But then Zyra, I mean, this crowd control you have as that support can really keep anyone away from you. And right now, the only person that can dive into that back line is Trix.
Well, we'll see whether he's going to be going solo or whether he's going to have someone with him. It could be a Riven.
Wow.
So these actually could go in either lane. Riven we've seen mid, obviously previous match. We just saw High playing it. Whether he's going to go top lane for Nien. Nien has actually played both in the past.
I want to say Riven will be going top lane because Link's been actually practicing quite a bit. I checked up on his recent games. That was one of his champions or main ones he was working with. And also with the Ghost Flash, you're kind of going to assume that as well. But really interesting lineups from both teams, I have to say. There's a relatively squishy side of CLG, but they still do have Vladimir to pull away, so it won't matter too much. But I really want to know how this game's going to go. I think it comes down to this level 1 action we might see.
Well, this is very different from the CLG we saw yesterday. It was very much the standard protect the double lift. A lot of that big beefy tank champion with Nien playing Nasus yesterday. That big beef up front and all the shields, of course, to protect double lift. It's very different this time around. Did they realize they just can't do that against Fnatic? Because Fnatic have got a lot of champions that are going to be gunning for him.
Well, even Fnatic, I mean, they're really well known for the split pushing. Xpeke backdoor, and that's what his pride and joy. But they don't have a comp for that, really. They have more of a, we want to team fight you. If anything, Cyanide's going to be the one split pushing. We want to poke you down with the Zyra Ashe range and then pairing the Nidalee with that. And not to mention the healing that they can do with the Nidalee and Karma being able to keep himself alive on top of that. So it's going to be a really interesting game here, and I want to know which team's really going to come out big. I think the real question is, are we going to see the AD carry supports go head-to-head? And if that happens, I think everyone's eyes are going to be on that.
I think they might. I think they might. But then again, I mean, who's the better 2v1, a Riven or a Karma?
I'd say, in terms of CS, to be Riven, just because you can obviously you have a lot more abilities to do it with, and you can outlast hit obviously with your passive mixed in. But Karma will have a lot more sustain. Your range, so you won't be harassed on your turret as well. But then again, Reckless and Yellowstar, they can do so much to you if you are that Riven on your own turret.
Well, we will see, ladies and gentlemen. We are live right now. It is Fnatic versus CLG, and wow, what a clash this could be. We've already seen Gambit decimating Cloud9. Was not expecting that one myself, because I'd called Cloud9 and lost myself some friends in Gambit doing that. But it is Europe versus North America once again. Yeah, you don't bet against Gambit, especially when they're against an American team, because the #1 seeded American team has been smashed, decimated by the Russians. Can Fnatic, the Europeans, do the same to CLG, the last remaining American hope? They were both voted in here by you guys, the fans, the public at home, who you wanted to face here. CLG beating out the likes of TSM, etc. as well to get here.
Oh, Peke.
Very, very close. Level 1 wise, what do we see from these two? He's going to get the hook. Now it's going to be Peke. Surely it's also trouble the Ignite being used. Her jumps away from it, but Flash is used, and that will be First Blood America.
And I think that's a smart play overall. I mean, obviously, CLG got the kill, but Xpeke flashed it away. No one was going to die. It made Aphromoo, it made, I believe it was Niantanso to actually flash in as well. So they committed 2 flashes for that, but they still get the first blood. And importantly, it goes over towards that top lane. So that's going to be very dangerous now for whoever's going to be in the lane against him.
So, Fnatic realizing the situation. Of course, it's going to make the camera guy a little bit tricky. Yellowstar going very deep to pull that ward in there. They know that it's there. Is Aphromoo going to go and throw a pink there? No, because he hasn't got one on him. That's good. That would be tricky.
So they'd rather just probably start off there then. And we do see Nian returning to lane with the red pot. He is looking for a kill. He's looking for blood on whoever he's up against, and it looks like it will be Soaz. So it's going to be really cool to see if he can pull that off. And if he can really snowball his lane very hard.
It's going to be hard to pin down Akama, though, because she's versatile, can land that leash, slow you down, speed herself up, everything. So he's just going to keep it at a long range, I feel. Same with Peke. We've seen some pretty impressive Nidleys so far already, and we know just how much damage those spears can do if they land at full range. But this is the bottom lane. This is the one we want to focus on, Jason.
Yeah, it looks like we do see them trying to push the lane quickly, trying to get the level 2 advantage on. But right now, none of them getting it just yet. 3 more minions for CLG side. They will hit that level 2, and they will be able to push Fnatic out, but they got to start pushing it back. And Cyanide, he's going for an invade here. He's going to catch Trix, and he has the red buff, so he has the extra damage.
We'll see whether he goes in. Trix realizes he's there, and Trix in trouble. He's going to have to get away from this one. Cyanide's going to continue harassing him, pushing him right out of that jungle. We'll go for the red. Meanwhile, Yellowstar down the bottom. The flash comes in. Has Doublelift gone too deep here? Reckless is going to turn around. He does manage to get the kill. That's a great flaming. He gets the double kill. Reckless strikes back.
Oh, you see on the camera, he did a little handshake like, yes, that was so worth it. They get the double. Great job making them overcommit. And Yellowstar baiting them in perfectly. Now Cyanide stealing away the red buff from Trix. Fnatic have gotten a huge early lead in this game.
Wow. That volley right there was a blow for America, that's for sure. Soaz pushing the lane out actually against Nian. Wasn't expecting that one. You can see Nian being forced backwards and actually out-farming Nian so far. Of course, he has got that red pot, so we'll wait for this opportunity to start going all in on Soaz. If he gets caught out of lane, he's in desperate trouble.
It's very smart of him to do that, though, because they realize Trix won't have red buff, so he can't really be slowed and caught. If he levels a little bit earlier, have all of his abilities, so he'll have the chain, he'll have the extra slows, and even a shield for himself, so he'll be able to survive better by pushing the lane now and letting it push back out to middle of it than he would have just waiting.
Interesting. Pickaxe coming straight out from Reckless there.
He
We'll
means
see
business
how
in that lane.
that works out for him. Still, yeah, I mean, the fact that he went back and spent straight away, went back and got that goal, that's worth 14 to 12 in terms of CS. I mean, that was such an early buy to pick up that pickaxe.
Oh, it really is. I mean, he lost a little bit of CS, but the lane's pushing back into his favor, so it doesn't matter in the end. And right now, CLG, I mean, if you're running an aggressive lane, you have to be careful if you do lose out early, because then that means you can't do it yet again. And Fnatic, they realize it's pushing, just going to wait it out here. And I want to see, are we going to have any more battles develop? Because the junglers haven't been down here just yet, as we do see Trix finally heading that way. It's just been about pure aggression out of both these sides.
Double Dawn's ring being picked up by Soaz. He's just been back to buy. The wave was kept pretty even between the two. Pink Ward being picked up by Nian as well as he's backed, as well as that Doran's blade now. So he's certainly waiting, biding his time with that red pot. We'll see whether that investment pays off just yet, but so far he's been pretty safe. The battle between the bottom lane is going to continue, and the middle actually is very even. It was square on CS a moment ago, but obviously we've just seen one backing off there. Trix once again getting invaded by Cyanide. I'm wondering whether he's going to battle him over this raid. You bet your life he is.
And he is doing such a good job of keeping Trix in the jungle. He does get the smite, does get the steal, and he's trying to just control where the ganks are coming by constantly being in the jungle CLG. Because he's Shyvana, because he's so fast, that he has the ability to take it very quickly and to check where Trix is or has been.
Well, we'll see Trix at the moment being slightly bullied by the very experienced Cyanide. He's been involved in Season 1, 2, and 3 of the World Championships. Actually, I tell a lie, he wasn't at Season 2. He was obviously in the qualifying process, but got knocked out in the European Regionals. Nian, though, shoved against that tower. He's going to get that farm back going, but Soaz on Karma. We saw Karma a number of times back in Season 3.
Wasn't convinced.
Wasn't convinced back then, no.
Yeah.
We even saw it in the jungle from Diamond Prox, and we actually had a few showings at the Worlds as well, but really only by, I think it was Mineski that pulled it out. That's not really something we can power on. This is what we were talking about, though. If Nien can get on top of Soaz, it could mean trouble, but Soaz turns it back around, puts that leash down, and just an equal trade.
And in the end, he still has that red pot. He needs to go for a kill soon if he wants to make it effective. Otherwise, he just wasted all that 350 gold. So right now, he needs a kill potential. Even put the pink ward down like you mentioned earlier, and yet it didn't spot the ward that Soaz used. So either way, he's still going to spot someone coming. And right now, Sunlight's still just sticking to the jungle. Hasn't made his presence known, obviously because he's Siobhan. He can't really gank that easily on a lane that doesn't have an insane amount of CC. So he's just making sure Trix doesn't hit level 6 before him.
And this is an issue, though, because Trix has been looking to try and make those ganks. He went down the bottom, but they knew he was there. They'd already backed away, and Cyanide, once again, is back in CLG's jungle and taking away their farm. He's already gone in, taken away the Wraiths for the second time running, going to take away the entire top area of the jungle. Trix is hurting here.
It's such a slippery slope because when you're the jungler and you start to get counter jungled, you have to invest your own money into wards, which you see him have right now to make sure he can cover his entrances, cover his buffs. And when you are forced into wards, obviously you can't buy the other items you need. So it's really starting to hurt out a bit for him. CLG needs to make sure to ward a little bit better just to help him out if he wants to be able to get back in this. And right now, Cyanide coming to this top lane doesn't have red buff, but gonna scare Nien away, and that's finally the first gank we've seen.
Just gonna run on by. It's like, yeah, you know you're there. Well, that's the ultimate being used there. Now, Hemo Plague won't have enough to take down Peke. He just heals himself up. That's also the danger of an Italy. He can just heal himself up. Not only the spears that are the strong point, the heals. Once he gets that ability power built up, they can be such huge heals.
They see
but
Trix
CLG
coming.
on the red buff invade.
They see him coming. Looks like all 4 members. No, it looks like Reckless will stay farming away. They just want to at least be able to spot this, maybe clear it back up. Trix doing a great job of doing some counter jungling himself. Does pick it up. Cyanide coming in from the side. But they should be able to skate. Oh, the Ash Arrow!
Straight into the arrow that goes on towards Aframu. Aframu does have flash available. It's Trix zones in on towards Peke. Peke pretty low. That's a good hook onto Cyanide. But Doublelift's going to get focused at the back. Doublelift weaves in the barrier. Can he get away from this one? Cyanide's going to jump on towards him. Has he got enough damage to get him onto the tower? I'm not too sure. One more hit should do it. Yes, he does. Doublelift goes down, but looking back in the jungle. They're chasing on towards Trix. Trix forced to flash in towards the pit. You can see Peke continuing to chase, despite the fact he's very low on health and mana. They may turn this back around on towards him. Will he land the hook? Yes, he will. Peke's in trouble. He's going to go down. He went too deep, and CLG get revenge again.
And a good play by both teams. Great job by Fnatic to make their presence known, to stop that red buff from taking away, even though it was eventually in the hands of Trix. But luckily for CLG, they do pick up the kill. But Cyanide, in the meantime, he goes for the red buff again. He's going to deny another buffer away from Trix, even though he did lose his own.
Yeah, Nien, while that was all happening, the battle at the top lane just continued farming process. Nien was farming between the lanes, but Cyanide steals away the red buff. Nien will be back in off here. They know that he's there. Actually going to try and track him down, but he's already going to be gone before Cyanide gets around there. Peke on Nidalee, 0-2-0.
Yeah, and in his lane, he's just, I'm assuming, looking to farm because he's not really going to be able to 1v1 Link too easily. Once you're a Vladimir, you get some sort of spell event, which he currently does have with that revolver. It's very hard to kill him, so he's pretty much just trying to keep his farm up, trying to keep his money coming. But one thing I noticed, look what Doublelift has. He picked up a Crystalline Flask.
Yeah, Crystalline Flask along with that BF sword. BF sword as well for Reckless, but he wants to just chug on through their spots. He's actually been focused and gone down twice already, though.
Yeah, and he wants to be able to make sure to trade a little bit better with Reckless and to be able to harass quite a bit more with that extra mana he gets from it. So he's trying to get control of his lane a little bit again, but he is keeping up in CS, so he's doing a fantastic job of that. But one thing he will lack as the game progresses into teamfight mode, he doesn't have it global initiate like Reckless has.
One thing is for certain with Doublelift, he'll always keep up in CS, even if he's up against Wei Xiao or I guess Uzi is the recent phenom coming out of China, despite the fact he's moved into the jungle role for Royal nowadays. God only knows why they made that decision, but Fnatic at the moment, seemingly in a slightly better position. I'm not too sure because Peke is, you know, he's 0-2, but one of them was First Blood, but both of them have actually been hooks from Aframu.
Yeah,
which on an Italy is something you don't often get.
Yeah, I mean, luckily for XPEC, I didn't be able to actually see Aframu coming in that last one, but once we get into the late game, because I want to focus on that as we approach it, how is CLG going to engage on Fnatic? Because you have the slows out of Ashe, you have the roots and the String of Thorns out of Yellow Star. How are you going to approach them? They can just kite you, chip as much as possible, engage when they want, but right now Cyanide and the bottom lane looking for a gank here as the Intansa goes in on Soaz.
Yeah, late game there is a lot of kite. They're actually catching on Doublelift once again. He's going to go down. It's Cyanide that gets himself another kill. He was phenomenal in the World Finals, Cyanide. Certainly carried his team against Royal Club in a number of those games. But this time, once again, he's continuing on, and they are pushing that bottom turret.
And you see where their focus is. What lanes has Cyanide really ganked? Top ones, but it was just a swipe by. And bottom, he's trying to focus on double left. He got the kill on him a little bit earlier as Trix coming in.
Trix goes way too deep. What were you thinking? He literally dived into that Stranglethorns. They set him up for it. And that's just gifting another kill to Cyanide.
That had to have been a mistake. I mean, he just died for pretty much no reason. They got nothing out of that. Maybe he got 1 CS or something like that. But now they're going to lose a turret, as they do have expect a return to middle, so he's going to be able to hold on to his. And overall, this game's been really focused around the bottom side of this map, which we honestly kind of expected.
Yeah, we kind of realized it. I think Fnatic may well have set this one up, but Soaz is going to get dived on behind in the end. He's going to get a good trade once again, but there is a tower there. Soaz is well aware of that, and he's going to turn it back around towards the end. He's got a group of minions also hitting him. The Ignite goes down. There goes the slow. Puts the shield on himself. Feels he can go deep enough. In the end, though, with that red pot, is it going to be enough? I don't think it will. Soaz gets the kill.
Oh, that was so well played. Soaz knowing his limits, just so damn good in that top lane. Remember, he was crowned the best top laner at the All-Stars, winning out against everyone he went up against. And just proving it right there. Went for a triple Doran's ring because he wanted to have that health to survive, the extra regen to harass. And Ian Tanso, if he's falling behind, if Double is falling behind, this is not a good sign for CLG fans out there.
Yeah, if anyone knows how a trade's going to go, it generally is Soaz. If anyone watched that 1v1 that happened
On Shy.
in All-Stars, on Shy of all people, he really took it to the limit, I think it's safe to say. Reckless, though, back in his bottom lane. Look at him now. Infinity Edge is well under complete. That's going to be the Hemo play coming off, but again, just heals it off, continues to put the traps down, didn't manage to land it on towards Link, didn't land that spear either. Link's doing a very good job at dodging those spears, actually, so far.
Yeah, I mean, as long as he stays in the minion wave, which he wants to be anyways for his E to be able to hit more targets, he's not going to really be pushed out. You got to have some jungle interaction, but even with the Shyvana, it shouldn't really be enough here. But expect it, he's not being hindered. He's been able to get his blue, and when you're an AP Nidalee and you're trying to poke really well, ooh, that was close. That's exactly what you want to see, though. He's able to get his blue.
And this is a scary combo because you can land that slow and the spear just follows it up. I mean, it narrows down that angle so much more.
Oh,
and you can see the spears coming through, lands onto Link. He realizes he's got to back up. Lifesteal's not going to help him there. That could well be the turret. But look at Aframu. He's walking into a trap. Cyanide's ready and waiting. Doublelift comes up there, tries to throw the Chompers out, but Aframu has singled himself out. While this is happening, Trix tries to come in. Oh, the spear catching on towards him. The Ash Arrow comes in. The volley from Reckless goes him down. Now they're on to Doublelift. They want to focus him. They want to ruin that KDA. Soaz throws out more damage. He has to back away. Where did Trix end up going? I do not know. That's the middle turret. They could all turn and go for the inner.
They could, but we just have Sada chasing down Aframu.
Aframu is not... I was about to say, where did he get to? Cyanide's chasing him. There's a big scary dragon on your backside. He's going to have that flay back up. He should be safe enough with that one. He may well give him enough time to back away, but look at the middle turret. That's where the focus is.
Yeah, he stalled long enough for them to get to this middle turret. It's going to go down here. They might be able to pick him inhibitor turret off this because Nian Tanso's still top lane and Link taking a lot of damage.
The poke. It's a new form of poke. It's, I mean, a Nidalee and a Karma. I've never seen that poke going on with it, along with the Ash. That's 3 long-range, nasty poke.
And it's really hard to deal with because they don't really have anyone that can sustain from it except Link. They don't have any kind of healer that obviously Fnatic does have, but off of that, off of those 2 turrets, off of those 2 kills they got, they're taking a dragon on top of that. Look at the gold lead that they're able to get 14 minutes in.
You know, Jason, I feel I've been lied to because we've spoken to people about Fnatic over the last few days and said they've only really been practicing for like 2-3 days. They're in terrible shape right now. Everybody is beating them. Good God, what the hell's happened? They just show nothing clearly because it's a 3-0-3 Reckless, 7-3 up in kills. Doublelift at 0-3-2. You just don't see these scores. It's a 5k advantage already, 3-1 in turrets, and one of those inner turrets being the middle already down. 14 minutes gone.
They prepared really well for this game, I'll say that. They might have been practicing a lot, not been playing well, but they prepared the hell for this game. They banned out Elise, which is a really good champion to use for hard engage, and they wanted to run a poke comp, so they set up for that. Extremely well played just for the picks and bans alone, and they're playing it flawlessly. They're not falling behind, which would keep them probably on the back end of this game very easily, and they're still controlling the game very well. Look at the wards that you have down for Fnatic in the jungle CLG.
Well, that spear would have almost landed flat out onto Aframu. They maybe think no one's there because that spear didn't land. They're going to have to back away from this one. Reckless is going to be the target. Fires off that arrow. He's going to get honed in with an assault and battery. Reckless will be the focus. He should go down here. Finally, can they turn it around? Aframu will go down. Peke is going to go down as well. This is going to be 2 kills for CLG. He does manage to heal himself up. Continues running, but it's a fearless task. He's not going to be able to get away from this one.
Or will he?
Surely to God. Doublelift should close the gap. No, throws out himself another heal, gets the spear off, pounces away again. Peke continues to run. He's going to have another heal back up in a cooldown in a moment. Link is going to close him off. Where's he going to go? Is he going to buy himself enough time? That 10-second gap, he can pounce straight across.
Around the map.
He's kiting Link across now. There's going to be the Hemo Plague. That's going to be enough. The tower hit should be in. He gets another heal off. Hemo Plague comes off. Nien comes across. He could throw a spear back again. Now he's got Soaz coming to help him out here. Soaz has joined him. He puts the shield on him as he goes past the tower. Gets the heal off. And he lives.
Wow.
I do not believe Peke's great escape.
And we talked about mobility. You just saw it right there.
Wow.
Able to escape 3 men.
And they're going to take the tower.
Wow.
I do not believe it. Ladies and gentlemen, get a YouTube clip ready for that one because that is a great escape from Peke.
Phenomenal play out of him. But right now, Link coming up the side. He committed his ultimate just in that last fight alone, and he's going in.
Whoa, Link, you've gone too deep. Has to pull away from that one. Soaz also coming back on towards them. They got to respect the poke that can come out from Fnatic here.
And it's funny because CLG used to be known for poke compositions back when they had Hotshot GG, but right now that turret's falling very quickly. The poke coming in. Nian's also knocked down very low, and they're forced to back away. In the meantime, Reckless's middle still pushing.
That's going to be the another inner turret down. Like you say, Reckless, he's on that middle turret. Double lift's down the bottom. He's like, guys, I can get this outer turret. Doesn't matter. They're on your bloody inhib turrets. Get back and defend.
Wow, Demon, I would love to have you as a coach. I really would. But in the meantime, he does at least pick up 1 turret. They are able to defend away Fnatic from losing any inhibitor turrets, but they're getting damage on the top lane right now, and they still have their poke comp up here.
They're continuing to drive on through the inhibitor turret. Double lift is still down the bottom. Reckless is actually heading down to deal with him. They feel in a 4-on-4 fight. Fnatic have a massive, massive advantage. The poke from Soaz and Peke is huge. Reckless gets a shot on towards double lift, gets a vision of him. The hawk shot's there. They're saying he's finally backing off, guys. We can leave the inhibitor alone now. It's actually down to about half health, and didn't even get a blow on towards the inner.
And they're backing away with quite a bit of gold to spend too. I mean, look at Soaz's build right now. Still with those triple Doran's Blade, going for that Rabadon's Death Cap. You even see Sonic picking up a little bit of armor here, but the Infinity Edge is done for Reckless. He hurts so bad against the Bloodthirster that Double Lift has. And right now, it looks like they want to go for a push bottom here.
Wow. Okay, things are slowing down. Whew. Let's
like
take
the
a
next
moment,
30
Jason. Let's take a moment. Just check out what is going on across the map. Let's have a look at some of these builds.
All right, well, as you do see, Karma, Soaz going for the AP, going for the heavy shielding, which will really provide a great ability for them to kite backwards and to take the damage that CLG has, but Link kind of getting caught here. Should be able to escape, though. We see over on Xpeke going for the regen with the Athenes and Holy Grail, going for the cooldown reduction on top of that. And over on the other side, I mean, we have this. Oh no!
He manages to get good flash. Soaz comes around the backside. Cyanide and Peke are in there as well. They're going to get on towards Link. That's going to be Link going down. It's Reckless that picks up another kill.
And this is all stemming from the great control that Fnatic got early on. Look at all the wards yet again in the jungle for CLG. You see 2 pink wards invested towards the top side because CLG expected them to work towards top a little bit more. But no, they changed up. They went bottom. They got another turret. Nian's still top lane, who's finally backing away. And they're going to look at this inhibitor turret.
And you know, looking at this game, Fnatic were the team that adapted the best to the playstyles of Worlds. The fast-paced, towers going down, everything being blitzed. Look at this. We're 19 minutes into this game, and they're on the inhibitor turrets, and that turret is going down.
Yeah, very fast. And there's the arrow.
That is going to be another inhibitor. They're going to catch on towards it. Trix is going to have to get away from this one. Stranglethorns did not land on anyone, but they will get the inhibitor down from this one, and Fnatic can just roll on round and go for the middle turrets.
And they're going to back away from this one with that advantage, but where are they going to go? Are they going to go to the middle lane and go for that? Are they going to back away, take away the blue buff, go back to base, heal up right before Dragon, which they obviously can do, but right now, Fnatic, the control they have over this game is ridiculous.
Ridiculous is definitely the word. That's going to be the blue buff going away. Oh, I tell you what, Link's gone looking a bit too early. That pull is not going to get you away, and Peke is going to pick up the kill.
And this is all still stemming from this vision control. We see Aphromoo just picked up an Oracle. He realizes we need to clear this vision out. We need to gain control of something. We have that bottom inhibitor down, which I'm assuming Double Lift will keep farming up for the next 3 to 4 minutes as Nian trying to take this turret down, get him a little bit of extra gold here, and it looks like he should be able to pick this one up.
Well, CLG, I think, have realized they've got a bit of a mountain to climb coming into this matchup. They weren't sure exactly what Fnatic was going to turn up, and I think now we can see exactly which one it is. They have pulled another combo out of the bag. Remember, this is Fnatic. Fnatic, all we used to see was a split push. Soaz and Peke combo going up the sides, pulling everybody away, and then suddenly taking one of the turrets. Slowly but surely doing the exact same thing every time. They've found another combo that works so well, and it's the poke comp. That's a scary arsenal for Fnatic to pull out yet another tactic.
Yeah, people always forget how strong that composition can really be. As long as you're really coordinated and really synchronized at escaping, no team can really touch you unless they keep you behind early on. But right now, Nian overextended yet again, gonna be backing away. Doublelift pushing out that bottom lane as far as possible, but it doesn't matter. They're gonna get this turret before he gets back.
Yeah, like Nian and Doublelift just are gone again, and they spot this out so quick. The tactical movement is phenomenal from Fnatic. That's another inhibitor going down. Remember the top one? It's already down to half. Trix goes in, Assault and Battery, but really who you're going to get is see the Playmo play coming out, but it's not going to be enough. The volley comes out. Link's forced to back away. Cyanide taken low. Megadolph Rocket completely missing as well, and they can Link have to back away. That's another hidden hit gone. Fnatic back off.
And they're changing their poke comp around a little bit. When they want to chase, they just speed up Reckless. He gets the slows and everyone else follows up, and CLG committed everything they possibly had to kill an Peke, but they couldn't do it. The shield from Soaz was too much. They're going to get another inhibitor turret off of this, but can CLG fight this time?
Throwing the plants out to tank it down, and you see Soaz taking some damage. Stranglethorns gets thrown out. It bounces Aframore up. That's a juicy target. Peke Spear finds the mark.
And they're going to continue to get this one down. It's going to finally fall here, but right now it's a slippery slope. Fnatic just keep pushing. They keep getting a kill here or there. They keep getting more inhibitors, and after this, they surely are going to back away.
Doublelift is getting poked on down here. You can see Soaz around the side. Another spear lands on towards Link. That's going to be the third and final inhibitor down. Double super minions all spawning towards CLG.
And now with all of this down, they have so many opportunities opened up for it. Baron is a very likely possibility if they want to go for it. We're only 22 minutes in and they're up 12-4. Almost 10,000 gold here, Demon. 9-3 in turrets.
The entire
9-3.
base decimated.
Yes.
In 22 minutes. What the hell are we seeing? What have these European teams been doing during the break? Everybody thought they were taking holidays, stepping away. That's what happened during the spring, summer, but it seems these guys have eaten their Weet-Bix this morning. They've come in and ready to play.
And this is kind of one thing that I think they got an advantage from with having Reckless on the team early on in terms of during the summer split. He was there coaching them. He was there watching them scrim, looking at maybe weaknesses, maybe pros, and really helping to make Fnatic adapt. He also had the ability to check out other teams, but right now, Aframu getting really low from one spear.
Oh, flash from Yellowstar. Yellowstar, who I should point out was also almost an MVP for Fnatic at the World Finals. Again, another spear from Peke finds the mark. 4-2-2 now. Remember, it was 0-2-0 at one point. The chain leech is going to slow Nien down, gets the stun down on towards him. The spear follows through. Cyanide, that was a little overkill, I feel, but doesn't matter. They got the kill nevertheless. Oh, Link now, he's running for his life. He's just going to get bullied and chased out of the base while the rest of the team turn for the Nexus turrets.
And it looks like, oh, he's going to stop her from going back. Doublelift doesn't be able to escape. They want the KDA. They're just chasing them down. They don't care about winning.
They want Doublelift. You take smack talk about Fnatic. They want to make sure you pay the price for that one. The spear from Peke will find its mark. It's a 1-4-3 for Doublelift.
Wow, phenomenal
Best
game.
AD down from Peke in chat. That's what he said, ladies and gentlemen. They wanted that kill, they got that kill, and they have proven a point in this game one. 24 minutes, and this Nexus will go down. The Intel Extreme Masters Cologne may well have a fight on its hands, and it could well be all Europe.
Wow, and now they're just taunting them, just dancing. So that's going to die to the turret. Letting the minions finish it off. I mean, this was so personal between these two teams, and Fnatic. Wow. I mean, look how happy they are. I mean, even Yellowstar, as Joe was saying earlier, got called shaky by Doublelift, and he didn't look shaky at all. 0-1-12 finish for him.
And I don't understand why you said, I mean, 0-1-12, like you say. But Yellowstar was tremendous at the World Finals. That Zyra play that he was pulling out, it's exactly what he did at Worlds. He was landing route after route. This is another AD carry. I mean, we talked about the Aframu Doublelift combo. Yellowstar used to be an AD carry as well, and a damn good one. He was in the Season 1 World Championships as an AD carry. He was in the Season 2 World Championships as an AD carry. He was in the Season 3 World Championships as a support. This guy's got more experience than those two put together.
And considering how he started off playing support, as he was playing, obviously with Fnatic when we saw N-Rated leave, he looked so iffy at first, but he's done such a great job of embracing the support role and really shining through. I wonder how the relationship's like between him and Reckless, because they played so in sync right there. Even though he did die in the beginning, he baited them in far enough to give Reckless a double kill, and then from there to just do amazing things.
What an incredible game, ladies and gentlemen. 24 minutes fast-paced action between Gambit and Cloud9, but right there, that was a one-sided decimation. And Fnatic proving a point with yet another fantastic lineup. Who would have thought? Karma, top lane, 2-1-6, Rabadon's Death Cap, triple Doran's Ring, Salt Spoots. That's all you need.
And they had money to spend at the end. They didn't care. They just wanted to finish it off. And their whole comp, it wasn't based around doing an insane amount of damage. Obviously, they did. It was just kite, poke, kite back if they engage, chase them down really easily with a Carmen and an Ashe if you need to, and from that, what could CLG do? I mean, their composition did not work. They didn't have a strong engage. It was just Vi, but you needed the flash to even get there.
And I also want to talk about Trix, because he was taken, Elise taken away from him, had great stats on Elise. Vi, he was pretty much punished by Cyanide's.
I don't think it was the champion, though.
No?
It was just Cyanide taking complete advantage of him in the jungle in terms of speed. Having a Shyvana, you're very fast. He took away as much as he possibly could constantly against him, taking the big Wraith away, taking red buff away. He just controlled him. He didn't allow him to gank at all. And from that, I mean, it kind of is, well, it's a snowball.
It's
it
a
really
snowball
is.
indeed. So, ladies and gentlemen, Game 1 is done. Game 2 is coming up shortly. We're going to go to a break. Do not go anywhere, because you do not want to miss the action here in the Intel Extreme Masters in Cologne.